What's going on, guys? I'm Jaye Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I gotta talk about this Larsa Pippen situation, man. She is apparently looking for some attention. She did an interview and she spoke candidly about the fact that she dated Tristan Thompson first. Now, apparently there's been some breakup of the friendship she has with the Kardashians, which she probably caused on her own. But I have another article here where she's blaming Kanye West, of all people, for brainwashing them against her. Can you believe that? These are headstrong women. I thought they'd do the brainwashing, but she wants to blame Kanye. She wants to blame the brother. Even though those women do whatever it is they want to do, she wants to blame him. But let's get into this. Now, I want people to understand something. Larsa Pippen did all of this to herself. One, because while she was still married to Scottie, she got with Future. And not only that, apparently she got with Tristan Thompson right around the same time. Now, I did some numbers, and Scottie Pippen filed for divorce in October of 2016. There were rumors of her getting with Future right around that time. Now, she said she dated Tristan Thompson before he was introduced to Khloe. But Tristan and Khloe, I believe, started dating in August of 2016, if my numbers are correct here. So that would mean that while she was with Future, cheating on her husband, she was also hooking up with Tristan, probably at the same time. Now, if you go back to a year ago, Khloe basically said that she was introduced to Tristan through a mutual friend that wanted to see how they hit it off with each other. Well, apparently they hit it off very well. Okay, get into the article. It says Larsa Pippen claims that she had arguably dubious honor of dating Tristan Thompson before Khloe Kardashian. The ex-Miami housewife, who's 46, told the Hollywood Raw podcast that she was kind of seeing Tristan before Khloe or any of them knew he existed. I was seeing him. I had him come to LA. I brought him to a party Kim had. I introduced him to all of them. So are you saying that they stole him from you? Is that what you're saying, Larsa? Well, apparently that is what she's saying. All right, let's see. Then a week later or 10 days later, he started seeing Khloe, which is fine. I didn't even care. It's whatever. I never cared that Khloe was with him after me. Really? Toward this bragging rights? Because this to me sounds like you were salty. I think you were a little salty about this, Larsa, because you really wanted a relationship with him. Because again, she was married to a basketball player for years. It was only natural for her to be dating a younger basketball player that she picked out. She chose him only for him to go with Khloe because that's who he wanted to be with. He wanted a high profile relationship, and because Tristan, he is for the streets himself. He can't control himself. I don't think anybody has ever said that Tristan Thompson has the most discipline when it comes to women, because it's obvious that the guy doesn't. So I think she did care. And she might have held it in as a small grudge, because now she's no longer friends with the Kardashians, and she's doing this podcast, and she's doing it because she wants to, in her own way, air them out, as if she was with this guy and Khloe just decided to take him from her. But let's move on. Let's see. But the former Kardashian pal denies that she's seen anything of Thompson recently, up until and including a rumored affair between the two. Because there was talk that they had gotten together a little bit more recently, and she denied that. Usually when women deny it, they will deny it in a way that they can hold off on information, but not 100%, rule it out, so to speak. I would never do that. That's not even my personality. Sure it isn't. She said before adding, I applaud Khloe and Tristan for working things out. I think it's great they are trying to work on their relationship. I'm really proud of them. Things have been tense between Pippen and the Kardashians since the summer, when the eagle-eyed fans noted that Kim, Courtney, and Khloe had all unfollowed Pippen on Instagram. Kim's husband, Kanye West, tweeted and deleted Larsa at one point, leading Pippen to blame him for brainwashing the Kardashians against her. Once again, this is a situation where she just cannot be accountable for anything she did. She was the one who was defending them when they had the issue with Jordan. And she took a lot of flack, man. She took a lot of flack. They left her out there to dry. To defend for herself. Left her out, and I don't think she's gotten over that either. I think that this whole brainwashing by Kanye West is all in her head. Now, has Kanye been vocal here and there about her? But a lot of people have been vocal about Larsa, not just him. Again, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I highly doubt that there's just some intricate plan by Kanye West to get her away from the Kardashians, unless he feels like she's a bad influence. Listen, would you want your wife around a woman who openly cheated on her husband with a rapper? Like, seriously, would you want your wife around somebody like that? If anything, he might have talked some sense into him, but I don't think Kanye has that type of power over them. I just don't. Pippen explained also on this week's Hollywood Raw that she was at one point West's go-to person to call when he wasn't happy with X, Y, and Z, and that she eventually blocked his number because of his late night calling, which really upset him. Listen, I've done that. I've called people because, when you're a night owl, sometimes you may call people just to get something off your chest. It be like that. You know what I'm saying? When your mind is moving fast, there may be times when you want to call people and get some things off your chest, but she opened herself up to that, man. She should have just told him that that's not what she wants. Maybe she thought that Kanye may want more, but Kanye, he sees her as a friend, a family friend. He wasn't trying to take it there. He wasn't trying to smash. I think that's why she blocked him, because she realized that's not what he wanted. He wanted her non-relation attention. He wanted that non-relation attention. That's what he wanted. All right. If Kanye feels like Kim and him are better without me, then let them be without me. Do I look like I'm suffering? Was it hurtful? Yes. This shall pass too. Pippen and ex-husband Scottie, famously of the Michael Jordan era Chicago Bulls, got married in 1997 and they share 4 children. In 2018, she officially filed for divorce 2 years after the pair initially called it quits. The thing is with Tristan, man, and let me just also say this about Scottie. Scottie was never accused of dealing with other women. I think she may have alluded to it, but when she was out wilding out, going through her midlife crisis, she never really said he was dealing with all these other women. She didn't really, if she did, she was only alluding to it after the fact. After the fact, she was alluding to it. But in all intents and purposes, Scottie stayed with her. Scottie didn't leave her. Scottie didn't divorce her. She was the one that wanted more. She wanted to be a socialite. She wanted to be a Kardashian very badly, and they never reciprocated that. They never truly embraced Larsa. They always saw her as secondary and third. She was the mouthpiece. She would go out there and take, all of the criticisms from other people. And I think she realized she was not getting anything really in return, except for more and more criticism. She's doing this interview because she feels salty, because she's upset. And you can tell with her tone towards Kim and Kanye. She's trying to play it off like she's not hurt, but she cried in the car when they no longer wanted to be cool with her. She cried in the car when they unfollowed her, and she knows she did. The best thing that happened to Larsa was Scottie, and that's why she continues to carry his name. The name of a man that she publicly humiliated. Say whatever you want about Scottie. Scottie never publicly embarrassed her and got with a famous, R&B singer or female rapper or a WNBA player. But she openly got not only with Future, but she's admitting that she got with Tristan Thompson around the same time. She was double D clutching. Allegedly. Double D clutching while she was married. And it says a lot about her character and who she is. That's why they never fully trusted her. That's why they felt comfortable. Khloe felt comfortable taking Tristan from her because they didn't trust her like that. And they knew that if he had to choose between the two, he was going to choose Khloe. And Khloe knew that. And she took it because what else was she going to do? She wanted desperately to be a part of their group, almost like high school. And that's why it was so easy for Khloe to go and snatch up Tristan behind her back. Well, it wasn't behind her back, it was in her face. Because at the time, she was still married to Scottie. Publicly, she was still married. I believe this was before he filed for divorce. That's why it was easy for Khloe to go and get with Tristan, because Larsa already had a whole family. And Khloe is known for going after men who's with other women. Now, this is the one thing I want to know too. Because y'all gotta understand, right around the time he started dating Khloe, he had a whole pregnant girlfriend. So this guy not only had the pregnant girlfriend, who her name is also Jordan, but he was also dealing with Larsa. Larsa knew this guy was in a whole relationship, got with him, and Khloe, who don't care who you in anyway, she'll still try to get with you. So that's why Larsa really couldn't do much, because Larsa knew that she was already dealing with a guy who was with somebody. She was with somebody. Plus she was dealing with Future on the side if the timelines are aligning. And that's why she dealt with that. But I know she has carried that resentment. But when you're desperate to fit in, you're willing to do whatever until you're no longer friends. And now you want to go on podcasts and talk about how you was with this guy first when you were still married to Scottie.